Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we will learn about the files that are outside of the folder in Laravel directory structure. These files are important because they are the foundation of the framework. So let's get started. In editor config, it defines code formatting rules to ensure consistency across editor. For example, indent size is defined as 4. So in another file, if I press tab, it takes 4 spaces. Now let me change it to 2. Now the tab, if I press tab, it takes only 2 spaces. If I change it to 6, then it must take 6 spaces. So if I am pressing the tab, now it really is taking the 6 spaces. So this is about the .editor config. Now let's come to the second one. It's .env. It stores environment specific configuration like database credential, API keys, or the mail configuration. Here it defines API keys, and in this part it defines database connection along with the mail configuration. Now let's come to the third part. It's .env.example. It is similar to .env, but it does not contain any sensitive details like keys or private credential. Instead, it includes generic values that serve as a template. So when a new developer setting up a new project, then they copies .env.example to .env and then manually update it with the actual environment specific values. Now let's come to the next file. It's .get attributes. It configure attributes for Git such as file diffing and merging behavior, where diffing is defined as comparing two files. And the next file is .gitignore. As the name suggests, it includes list of files and directories to exclude from Git version. Here it is .env, .env.backup. These files are ignored by Git when pushing changes to the remote directory. Now let's come to the next file, that is Artisan. Artisan is a command line tool for automating tasks in Laravel. It makes life easier for developer by creating manual files by using just one command. For example, if you want to create controller file, then you use command php artisan make controller, then controller name. But if you want to create a model file that is related to controller, then by add-on in this command hyphen model equals to model name, this command creates two files that are related to each other. But if you will create two files manually, then it will be a hectic process. And Artisan also helps for creating scheduled task. That is all for Artisan. Now let's come to the next file, that is composer.json. It specifies PHP dependencies and metadata for the project. It ensures the specified version of dependencies are installed. Composer.json is for developers. Developers specify which external libraries project need and what version of those libraries should be used. Now let's come to the next file, that is composer.log. It records the exact versions of dependencies that are installed. Now next file, that is package.json. It specifies JavaScript dependencies and scripts for front-end tooling. As you can see, the difference between package.json and composer.json is composer.json is used for backend, while package.json is used for front-end tooling. Now let's come to the next file, that is phpunit.xml. This file is used to configure phpunit, which is a testing framework for PHP. It defines settings and configuration for running tests, including unit test or API test. This file itself doesn't test API or function directly. It just provides configuration for PHP unit to run tests that you have defined in your test classes. Now let's come to the next file, that is readme.md. This file provides essential information about the project, including how to set it up, use it, and contribute. It helps developer understand the purpose of the project and how to get started with it quickly. Now let's come to the last file, that is white.config.js. It is used to configure White. That is a front-end build tool for compiling and bundling assets like JavaScript, CSS, or other files.